Hello, ladies and gentlemen, tubers and groovers, and welcome to Take the Fear Out the Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
And today, Simon has come up trumps. He's got a great way of connecting your iPad to a keyboard using not MIDI, but that kind of thing. Simon, show us your little thing here, which has absolutely blown my mind. I am chuffed with this idea.
Well, what we'll do first, we'll just explain what we're doing here. We've got a iPad Air. We've loaded up the Korg Harp Odyssey app. Jay will give you a little...
That thing, right?
So obviously you can play it off the iPad, but it's always, the keys are so small, it's a little bit tricky. So we were thinking...
Well, it's hard to do four-finger chords on it or anything, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because there's not a lot of space here for big fat fingers like mine.
Obviously this is an iPad Air. This is a Apple, it's called a camera connection kit, which gives you a USB. Then we've got a USB lead into our powered USB hub on the input. And then on the output, we've got a standard USB kind of thing you put in your printer into your USB controller keyboard.
Oh, so this isn't plugged into the mains, this is literally being powered from there, yeah?
Exactly.
Bizarre.
So we're going to power this via the USB, so if I switch this on...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Say, for example, something like my keyboard up there, which needs to be plugged into the mains, would that still work, or would that cause a problem? Has it got to be a keyboard thing that's powered by USB?
I think it's better if it's a USB powered keyboard.
Right, good, we cleared that up then. Because if you go putting a 240 volt one in, then that might cause a bit of a problem.
Yes,
It
yeah,
might-
we
might-
haven't tested that
Yeah,
yet.
it might be okay, but you just might not need to plug that into there, maybe. That's just a thing, okay? I've only just thought of that, so I thought I'd put it out there.
And the other thing is this has got a 3 amp power supply, which gives you plenty of wattage to run your USB keyboard.
Ampage.
Because I've got a 1 amp one at home, and that's not powerful enough to power this. So 3 amp one is
Yeah,
good.
if you can't see very well from their tubes, is that this thing has got a display on it that's very nice, and of course everything lights up. All these touch pads here all lit up. So this is using quite a bit of that 3 amp.
Exactly.
It's
And
gonna
literally, we haven't adjusted it. We've just put the Korg synth on. Literally, it works. And you can do your pitch wheel, do your modulation, put your octaves up. And
That's great, isn't it?
just works first time, no messing around, absolutely brilliant.
That's the nuts.
So what we'll do is, because we
I
haven't...
mean, who would have thunk it? You can use
Yeah.
GarageBand, right? You can use GarageBand with your keyboards and your MIDI controllers. Do whatever.
And what we'll do, because we haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, this is like, well, I'd say you're more likely to have one of these at home than that other thing, aren't you?
Yeah, this is just a little M-Audio Oxygen USB keyboard. So if we plug this one in...
Not to be understated or underestimated or under anything else. Oh, it's lit up nicely with the number 73 on. Yes, you can see that. 37 as I see it.
And again,
Oh, wowzers, straight away.
pitch bend, modulation.
Awesome.
Put your octaves up.
How cool is that,
Perfect.
tubes? I've got to ask you a question, Si. What if we had GarageBand on here and I want to play my bass guitar? Is there any way we can do that?
Well, we should have brought it in. It's a little Steinberg USB powered interface Jay's got.
You'd use any though, couldn't you? Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
as
a
long
Steinberg.
as it's a USB powered interface. You can plug it into socket 2 of here, so you get your power.
Oh, of course, yes.
Then that'll interface to GarageBand.
And you can plug in your guitar, your bass, and a microphone. You can use a Neumann U87 or a 414, really good mics rather than using the built-in stuff. Wicked.
And you can, obviously, GarageBand, there's synths on it as well, so you
Yeah.
can use this for your synths.
Yeah, yeah.
And your interface for recording whatever you want.
You'll be making proper music for real on GarageBand, because I think it's underrated, man. It ain't spoke about enough. GarageBand's really good. It's free for damn well sake. On your pad, man. It's free. If you've got a Mac upstairs, like I have, you've got it on there. It's already there. It's free. And with this and that and your audio interface plugging in here, wowzers.
It's a great. And there's lots of brilliant free synths. We might do another little show, you a few of these free synths.
I'm getting goosebumps. It's so cool.
And shall we mention the?
Oh yeah,
This is another route, but I'd say if you want to go down the USB keyboard route, it's so much easier.
This is simple. Damn simple. We spent quite a bit of money on these. They were out on offer at some point.
They were really cheap when we bought them.
Well, they were dear enough. I think they were about £15, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a lot of money, I know. But in case you want one, there it is, all right? And that basically does the same thing.
That's what it looks like out of the box. And you get a couple of flying leads to go to your 5-pin MIDI interface. So, if you wanted to use like your vocoder behind there, you can come out the MIDI of that and go in. That's got an old iPad connector, but you can get an adapter if you've got a newer iPad with a lightning on. So there you go. But it can be a little bit more tricky.
There's a bit of latency on it as well. We notice when you're playing it, you know the latency is a bit of a delay. In case you don't know what I mean by latency, you sort of hit the note and it takes a split second for it to come.
So it does, with a MIDI mobiliser, it can be a little bit tricky to set up. But there's another option just in case you're interested.
Good bit of kit. But the cheaper route and the perfect route is this. 3 amp USB supply, Bosch, happy days. We are the Fonz, are we not? Yeah. It's wonderful tubes. Go out there and make beautiful music, because we all know that music is a universal language and it is the food of love, so play on. From this edition of Take the Fear Out of Gear, it's goodbye from me, Mr. Jason Bangers.
And it's goodbye from me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
See you on the highway, guys.
See you
Take
guys.
it easy.